We'll do this. And good morning, everybody. Good Tuesday morning, and welcome to Mornings in Meridian. It is the two best hours of local live talk radio right here in East Mississippi and West Alabama. We're glad you're tuned in. Yeah, that's right. Tune that radio into 102.1 FM, or you can join us on Facebook. Or, guess what? You can also join us on WALTmeridian.com. We're streaming it right to your device or computer. Or, now I understand there might be a little problem with the app today, but you can always check out the WALT app.
It's called options.
We've got all kinds of options. Right. That voice whispering in my ear is none other than, and trust me, he doesn't whisper in my ear much, it's Robbie Atkinson. How you doing, Mr. Robbie?
Stranger danger.
How you doing? How you doing?
Charles, it's look.
Well, speaking of other people here, say hi to Charles Frazier.
Good morning.
Good morning, gang. I tell you what, you probably think I'm lying if I said I missed you guys.
Yeah. And do we have to return it and say, yes, we missed you too, Roger?
No, I didn't say I missed you. I said, I thought, all I said was you might think I was lying.
You expected us to say it back,
Well, I'm going to take the advice of once given by the great Hazmat. He said, Roger, one of these days you ought to do your own show.
Glad
you ought to show up.
Glad you could show up for your show.
Oh, man. Tell you. Woo. Well, whirlwind last week. But anyway, glad to be back, of course. Anytime you go on a travel and you come back safely, that's a good thing.
That's right.
So good to see you guys. And, of course, I know that we have a good show lined up today because we have a Board of Supervisor member coming to our show. Rob, tell the folks who's coming.
That'll be J.J. Anders, District 1.
District 1, J.J. Anders.
And he's bringing a special guest with him this morning.
Really?
Still hasn't.
Pancakes?
Still.
You're already asking about pancakes.
Got them on the mind, I'm just thinking.
And, of course, today is the day. It's the Pancake Jubilee. Jubilee. Oh, is it Sunday morning already? Oh, man. So that's going on all day over at the ballroom of the Temple Theater. So go and help the Optimist Club, as you always do each year, and also sit around, tell a few lies, and every once in a while a truth when you're sitting there talking with your friends and not so friends.
Haz did confirm yesterday that he won a couple of tickets while you were away. He is giving the other ticket to Joe from Chunky. So
my plan is working.
Yeah.
Yes, my plan is working.
So there you go. Figured you'd like that.
And now do you take Joe? No. I'm ready to do another wedding on the air. What do you say?
Joe, do you take Haz? Is really
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm not going to do that.
She always says, I ain't scared.
I ain't scared. Oh, have mercy. It would just make fun news because they would make the news.
Yeah, I think they would.
Yeah,
Probably every week.
National level. Right. Wow.
Every week. We're glad you're out there, folks, and of course we're having a good time. We invite you to be part of the show, so just give us a call here at 601-485-9191, 601-485-9191. Put you right here on the show. I want to thank our sponsors that make this show possible, and I'm talking about the good folks down there at, let's start with Battery One Source today.
Battery One
I'm going to tell you right now.
Don't be a dumb butt.
I think that needs to be my retirement job because I'm watching old Brian there lift those batteries in and out of there, and he's as fit as he could. I think he could be a professional wrestler. But that's because he's been carrying them batteries. But I tell you what, every time you pull up, they are quick to help you, and they will help you with everything. Even check the alternator, see if it's working, because that might be the reason why your battery isn't staying charged, so you might need to fix that before you even get a new battery. So all kinds of wonderful things that they suggest for you. And, of course, what else do they work on? Golf carts, right there. Everybody right there, Charles.
You are absolutely correct, Roger. And, of course, they also do cell phone repair. They got the best guy in the business, said. And like you said, they got batteries for every need and description. And not only will they check the battery, but they'll also check other parts of your vehicle as well to make sure it's the battery that's the problem or not. I mean, the service down there is just fantastic. 2618 North Frontage Road, in between exit 152 and 153 is where you will find them. They're open 8 to 4:30 Monday through Friday. Give them a call, 601-693-1500. John DeFore and his crew We'll take good care of you. Battery One Source is your one source for all things batteries and golf carts and cell phones and all kinds of stuff.
All
they
kinds.
Just do it all down there.
That's why it's called One Source.
The one source. For
All right.
Things battery and battery related.
That's right. And, of course, did you give their phone number? Because it's pretty easy to remember. 693-1500. 601-693-1500 if you have any questions for them. All right, let's go to the phones. Good morning, caller. How you doing? Hello?
Doggone weddings like that.
Here we go. Okay, I got you back on there. We hit the right button. Good morning once again. Let's start over. Good morning. Welcome to our show.
Yeah. You need to watch out with those weddings like that.
Those weddings.
You know, if you're going to do the wedding, you've got to not only include the certificate, but don't forget the quickie and transportation included to get a quickie divorce.
Oh.
If you're not satisfied, I mean, you know, after all, if you're gonna be the Walmart of weddings, then you know you've got to do something to make sure that customer satisfaction is guaranteed. And you know how that goes.
Okay. I guess we'll have to have a new clause in the wedding vows. You know,
You can be at a Target of weddings.
we could have something like.
And you know, some of them women, you know, some of them. Well, you ought to know from being a married man yourself.
Well, one
Some
thing.
of them are out to take everything they can from you.
Well, all of us,
I mean,
all of us here are
some of them
married.
have done it,
All of us here are married, and I bet probably what happened is when we got married, we pretty much knew when we did it, it was going to be a lasting thing, not a 3-day trial run.
No.
And besides that, they're going to eat you out of house and home with all of the pancakes that you got.
Okay.
If they spot them, they're gone.
There you go.
And then they're going to say, "Hey, Dave, I'm still skinny. You didn't feed me good."
Well, see, now that's where you're wrong because my bride makes the pancakes at our house. So
Well, I tell you
that's
what,
that's how you got to do. Marry right. You just got to marry right. You know, that's all it is. Just hey, do you make pancakes or do you eat pancakes? If they make them, that's a good sign. All
well,
right.
That means you got to be in the house of Trump if you're going to marry right, as opposed to doing it for the last 4 years on the left.
Okay. Well,
Because you only get what's left when you go to the left. And most of the time,
all right.
you're scrounging for the crumbs, and that ain't good.
One of us needs another cup of coffee. I'm not sure if it's you or me, but one of us does.
I'm drinking my
All
coffee
right.
now.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, look, you have a great day, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. One of us does. Let me reach for this again.
Yeah, get your coffee.
Not
I've
sure
got my
about all
coffee.
that stuff there. 601-485-9191. Good morning.
MAGA morning, true American patriots.
Look at here.
MAGA, MAGA, MAGA.
Oh, man. Tell you what, I missed. Now I know.
Hey, USA, what are Trump and Musk going to uncover today?
Don't you get the idea they're just having fun?
Make them demon cats squall, man. Make them suckers squall. But, yep, fixing to head down to the big pancake jubilee.
That's right.
You got the utensils ready. You got your platter ready.
Oh yeah, man! I got the kit. I do.
Got the kid.
Got the
Got your-
bib?
got
Got
your
a little
mess
bib
kit.
going?
Got the bib.
Belly rub since about 4 o'clock, making ready.
Oh.
Yeah, Has said yesterday, Roger, he was fasting yesterday, getting ready for today.
He was sitting on the
So
side
we're
of
leaving out for all the gluttony today.
polishing his shoes, getting ready for
I'll
bivouac
say a few
today.
Hail Marys in between bites. Maybe a glory be even. But yeah, I wanted the tickets. I called Joe and told her I was going to leave her a ticket. The goddess of truth and justice in the American way.
Wow.
Yeah,
you put
Joe
her-
of Chunky.
you put her right
Like
up there
Joan
with,
of Arc, but not with the fire.
You just put her right up there with MJ, MTJ.
Well, I don't know now.
MTG.
But man, I couldn't be happier with Trump and Musk. And these people think, oh, Musk is fooling, but he ain't fooling now.
He's not fooling.
And no. And there no sacred cows now. Now, them boys up there are fixing to get into all of it.
Well,
And
I have an interesting take, because you hear the left saying a lot of they just want to help their billionaire buddies, but you have to go back and say, what about the billionaires that have been helping the Democrat Party over the last 8 years of your Soros billionaires, and lately what was the guy that owns the Dallas ball team? Cuba?
Mark Cuban.
Yeah, Mr. Cuban, who is not Cuban, by the way. It's
Well, they ought to
strange.
send him to Cuba, though, I think.
So, they can say all they want to about the billionaires and billionaire
they
friends,
just
but
want-
they rely on billionaires and their billionaire friends. So, first of all, I hope the
Absolutely.
American people can see through all of that.
how many billionaires you know that own government handout programs? How many billionaires you know that's into this wokeism and everything that permeates all these departments, man?
I like the way Musk said it when he said it was kind of satirical when he said, "Oh yeah, I'm going to try to get more money from the government so I can buy something nice."
Something real nice, Clark. Yeah.
Like maybe a country.
Oh man,
Greenland.
It's like, yeah, really, come on.
And you can just look at him, man. He is having the time of his life. The deal with the chainsaw was priceless. So God Almighty, I thought it was wonderful. But yeah, let her rip, man, and dig into all of it. Because it needs to be uncovered. And like I said, there's graft and corruption at all levels. I call it doggy because their symbol is this dog. It looks like a husky, maybe. Department of Government Efficiency. Well, by God, we need one of those local and state, too. Let's have watchers to watch over the taxpayers' money to keep it out of the hands of the worthless.
Now,
and
Shad's
the
doing a pretty
greedy
good job
and
of
the
that, though.
thieving.
Now,
Shad White is doing a good job locally. Well, at least statewide. Not about a local auditor,
Well,
but
Shad White, I wish we had more like him.
well, here's a word to the
now-
Republicans and all those that need to, especially those that want to kind of stand out and say we're not going to vote for this and vote for that. This administration, what we have right now, with the two guys you're talking about, Trump and Musk, two guys who really don't need the money.
No.
This is the closest we're going to come to a revolution in a long time. And so if we think
revolution.
if we need a revolution, this is it. And you need to kind of get behind it.
Let's bring it. Let's bring it. And these weepy whiners, oh, you're cutting this program and yada yada and this, that, and another. Well, we got to do something. 36 trillion. My redneck mind can't get that many zeros in a pile. And here it is. We're borrowing money to give people that hate our guts around the world to try to win friends and influence people or cram democracy down their throat, or what is the deal? Why are we not spending this money in America on real Americans, veterans, elderly people that need some help, real card-carrying Americans that have paid their dues, blood, sweat, and tears in this country?
So what you're saying
This
is you don't.
my piece of dirt. The rest of the world, it can root, hog, or die, man. Nobody else cares about that mess. Nobody ordained America to rule the world and be the ultimate Walmart to the world. Not at all.
Ultimate Walmart to the world. I like that.
Ultimate Walmart. Just come tell us what you want. We'll write you a check.
America, we're the world's super center.
that's right.
That's it.
The ATM is really what we are.
We-
Just stick your code in, they send you
We're
money.
going to be woke until we go broke.
Yeah.
We're going to be woke until we go broke.
Has it's amazing when you look not only at the aid that we've given countries, but also in the military protection that we provided for Western Europe, and how
Oh,
they
my
have
God,
and
yeah.
how they have now given all this money to their citizens in the name of social democracy, and they've had the luxury of doing that because they haven't had to spend money on defense. And
No.
now what's going to happen now that we're pulling back and saying, wait a minute, y'all are responsible for your own, which we should have done 30, 40, 50 years
Absolutely.
ago. But it's
If
certainly
you're
time
going to be
now.
a partner in NATO, you need to pull your share on the rope.
Well, be a partner. That's exactly it. Don't be,
Don't be a parasite.
just a contributor to the United States Protection Plan.
That's exactly correct. Because somebody pays the bill in the end. and I think the military is going to be revamped, which I'm glad to see. And we're going to get away from that. We're going to get back to the mission of the military, which is to provide defense, to be able to project, prosecute, and win a world conflict anywhere on this globe. We need to be the strongest, the best trained, the best equipped, and the best team of warriors that this country can come up with. And it needs to be intense training, intense physical training, mental, every damn thing you can think of, real world-class training. Because, we're not training for a 4th of July parade. That's all fine and good, and I like the pomp and the ceremonies and tradition. We're training to win a war. And the job of the military is to kill people and to destroy things, and we need to be the best in the world at it. But I'm fixing to go destroy some pancakes, boy,
right.
So I might
wage war on them.
I'm gonna give you a warning. I may call back with an in-action report.
Well, that's fair enough.
The Lion on the Couch report.
You could be our man on the scene.
I said, Roger that.
Lord.
He is going to battle, isn't he?
Oh, man.
Battle with the pancakes.
He's excited. He's going to...
Who isn't? I mean, come on. It's
He's going to go make sure that the Optimist Club does not raise as much money as they could have.
Right. I just when Joe shows up, that's when it's over.
That's it.
See now, I have a scheduled luncheon. I don't know, we got to check these calendars here because we got a luncheon scheduled on Pancake Day. It's like we could have maybe done that another day.
Pancakes for dinner.
Well, that's it. It's going to be a pancake supper for this old boy.
Right. That's right.
Or afternoon snack or dessert, I guess.
Mid-morning.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder if there's any way we could maybe appeal to the federal government to get some help to pay for the garbage fees that people aren't paying here in Lauderdale County. So, while we're handing out money in the federal government, why don't we just throw a little down here to pay our garbage fees?
Maybe like $500,000, something like that.
Oh,
nice.
Wow, that much? Oh.
It's a lot of garbage.
I'm telling you, when I think about it, I'm paying $3 a day, $3 a week for people to pick up my garbage.
Not bad.
Glad to do it.
Sure.
Yep.
I'm not going to let JJ know that I'd be glad to pay more, but it's like, no. I'm just like, I think everybody just pay your fair share. Oh, wait a minute. There's a word from politics. Your fair share. We'll take a break. We'll come back. JJ Anders is going to be here, and he's brought reinforcements.
you were born. And you yelled she was sure impressed with you. Well, I ain't first class, but I ain't quite trash and wild and a little crazy too. Some girls don't like boys like me. Oh, but some girls do.
I ain't first class, but I'll pay for my trash. I'll do that. I'll pay for my trash.
Is your name on the list?
You know, I better find that out
Yeah,
before I
I
start.
looked. I didn't see it, but
Before I start getting a little mouthy, I better see if I'm on the list there. Mornings in Meridian. Welcome back. Roger along with Charles Frazier.
Good morning.
And Rob's taking a back seat because he said he worked hard last week.
He's
So
taking a nap.
he's over. He's
eating biscuits.
he's going to be fact checking J.J. Anders, and so he'll be back there doing that while we visit.
Voice your objections. Objection.
Exactly.
Your
This
Honor.
show. Sorry, I got a little tickle there. Mornings in Meridian. Of course, we're glad you're out there. We are going to be visiting in just a moment with J.J. Anders, but we want to tell you about another person whose name starts with J, Jeffrey Wilson. And, of course, he's a good neighbor at State Farm Insurance.
Good neighbor.
Absolutely.
I think that joke is kind of, it's died, hasn't it? But anyway, here's the deal. When you combine your State Farm home, when you phone,
State Farm home.
boom. State Farm home and auto insurance, you can save an average of $889, and that's just an average. It could be more, might be less, but you need to call Jeffrey Wilson today at 601-483-8253 to save right here in Meridian. Here's the deal. You need to know your insurance agent because when you're filing that claim, you've got a guy that wants to go to bat for you, and he will. And, you know, you see him all over town. He's involved in every kind of civic group available and even some that aren't available. He's just an amazing character. And, of course, he's always wearing khakis, and he drives that little red sports car, too. So go see him, Jeffrey Wilson State Farm, and he is over there on 2401 Highway 39 North, or you can call him, 601-483-8253. Jeffrey Wilson State Farm, like a good neighbor. Jeffrey Wilson is there for you.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'd like an insurance agent with a bat. That's pretty good. You know, those claims aren't coming out the way you need them to come out.
Yeah, that's exactly
You said
right.
he'd go to bat for me, right?
He
So
would
that means,
go to
he
bat
has a
for you.
bat.
He has a bat.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right, it's Mornings in Meridian, of course, so we want to introduce our guest now, and we are glad to have here in the studio, well, you know, the city has its council persons, the county has its supervisors, and J.J. Anders is one who, you know, said, you know, why should I be in business when I can get paid by the Lauderdale County government? And so... So he ran for the District 1, and supervisor, of course, became that person about 2 years ago?
14 months ago.
Has it only been 14 months?
Mm-hmm. Oh, not even 14 months.
Boy, you've learned a lot in a short period of time.
I have. And, you know, it's been even more enjoyable, this opportunity, than I even thought it would be. I mean, I'm loving this. I'm learning a lot.
You're loving it.
I really am.
Why?
Just
Well, that's I accept that because that's what we need. We need people who really enjoy serving the people, and that seems to be what you're doing.
absolutely.
So 14 months into the office. Let's see, not much this 14 months. Let's see, I don't know, major $10 billion project. Let's see.
Now you brought that in by yourself, is that right?
Absolutely not. Oh. No.
Opportunity was there.
No.
Well, yes.
No, not
a major
one.
role in that.
No one person can take credit for that.
All right.
That was a group effort from our state delegation and the governor to to the board of supervisors, past boards of supervisors. Our attorney, the city's attorney, did a great job.
And of course, let's not forget Mississippi Power.
And Mississippi Power is a great corporate partner with the county.
Mm-hmm.
So
I just saying that.
no, but you're not wrong. I
That's
mean,
it.
you know, we had the land, they had the power. If one of us backed out, it wouldn't have happened.
There you
but
go.
Mississippi Power is a great corporate partner to our area, and hopefully there's more to come.
Is that a country song?
What's that?
We have the land, they have the power.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It should be. It sounds like it. Yeah.
I think that's like Conan the Barbarian. I have the power. Something like that. Some cartoon from like that. Well, that's a whole
That's
different
all
thing.
good.
Anyway.
Yes. Moving right along.
But what's interesting is if you'd have told me, you know, going back 2 years when I was running, and I was in here with you guys, and you know, we were talking about all kind of different things that affect the county. If you'd asked me what was the number one thing I'd have dealt with in the first almost 14 months in office, I'd have never guessed trash. And guess what's the number one thing I deal with? It's trash.
Well, you brought it up.
I did. No.
So
Hey,
let's talk some trash.
let's do. So
Let's now I understand, and this goes back to a Rotary meeting that happened a couple of weeks ago,
Sure.
where Chris
Lafferty
was there. He's the administrator for the county, and which is kind of interesting. He don't tell y'all what to do?
no.
So
He is the day-to-day operator. He
Yeah.
finds out information. He executes anything the board wants done that we vote on.
does he execute people that don't play the trash?
Not yet.
That's right. So if you're on that list, watch out.
I'm sorry, I'm crossing a line there.
No, but and Daniel Mabry, who's our solid waste enforcement guy, I wanted him to come this morning because
The enforcer.
Let's introduce him. He's here on the microphone, and of course, say hi to
Good morning.
Daniel Mabry. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody.
He's calling you the enforcer.
Well, I'm solid waste code enforcement. When I was hired, it's really for illegal dumping.
Yeah.
Illegal dumping, there's a lot of that goes on in this county, and it's, we have some illegal landfills. We have people that just decide to put their stuff on the side of the road because they don't want to pay to go to the dump.
If you'll make a few trips up and down Paulding Road, we can show you some violators if you'd like.
Cleaned it up several times.
Oh, man. Permission to shoot out there, to sit out there with a shotgun.
Well, Roger, and before we kind of get
Yeah.
going, just thinking about this opportunity to come talk with you guys.
Yeah.
It is a very complicated issue. It's not as cut and dry as most people think. Most
When
people
you say cut and dry, what am I thinking if I think it's cut and dry?
you don't pay your bill, pick up their can, and don't get their trash.
That makes sense to me.
It makes sense to me too. And as a businessman, it's just like
Because if I don't pay my phone bill, guess what? They cut off my phone. If I don't pay my electricity, they will shut it down. So it's kind of like,
you would think. It's just like if one of your fine sponsors doesn't pay their bill for advertising, guess what? You're not going to advertise for them anymore.
You've noticed that.
I have. Yeah. So,
Fortunately, all of ours pay.
it is considered by the state once you start. And Daniel, correct me on this if I'm wrong, but once you start a county pickup, you cannot stop it for health and safety reasons because it's a health concern. If you don't, so what we're checking into the legalities of interrupting the service.
Well, listen, is there any way I can get that law to apply to the electricity? Because quite
nope.
frankly, if I lose my power, that's a health concern.
It is.
You realize all the mess that can happen when you don't have power?
But the power is a
Oh, wait a
private
minute.
company.
If I don't have my water, mercy. That's a health issue if I don't have water.
Yep, you're right. But we don't deal with power and water in the county. We deal with trash.
But the principle there is, why would trash, other than the fact that it's obviously out there in front and people can see it and smell it,
It's a dirty business.
it is. So I'm just saying, I'm okay with the idea.
Me too.
That we change the law and say if you don't pay your garbage. We're talking, folks, we are talking $3 a week. $3 a week for somebody to come in a truck and they take off all the scraps and bones and garbage and stuff that you throw in that can. You don't have to worry about it. $3 a week, it's gone. Love it. It's a great system.
$14 a month, $168 a year is pretty economical.
Was my math right on that? That was
Yeah,
I said about
that's
$3.
It's like $3.50.
That's fine.
$3.50.
Oh, okay,
Add the
$3.50.
50 cents. Right.
See, Roger, you were wrong. I got my fact checker back there. He said $3.50.
Yeah.
He's calling signals there. No, so
I think that was not
but
a
the
signal. I don't know what that
but the bottom line in here is, and folks, I'm sorry, this is just I don't have any, those who want to argue that shouldn't have to pay for a trash pickup or it's too expensive. It's great. It's great. I put it in a can, they take it off. And by the way, they're very punctual. Because if I don't have it out there at 6 o'clock on Wednesday morning, they must start with us. They're at 6 o'clock. If you don't have it out there, they're just gone. You missed it for the day.
They were at my house at 6:05 this morning.
Yeah. And these guys, and I respect all they do. In fact, the other day I was driving by one and I'd stop down. It's kind of, I could slow down a little bit, and I rolled down my window and I just told the guy picking up the trash, man, appreciate what you're doing. Thank you. And he was smiling and seemed appreciative of that.
Right.
So the point is, why do we have $500,000 of unpaid bills?
because
Trash accounts.
in anything, and Daniel, correct me if I'm wrong, in anything that there are loopholes, and we are actively trying to close those loopholes that some people have.
Give me an example. What's a loophole?
A loophole is a way around something.
And I know the definition, but I'm just saying, what's an example of the don't pay my trash bill loophole?
Well, I'm not going to get into a specific
guess
loophole because I don't want other people to try to do that. But like when you look on
This is how you do it.
when you look on that list, if you see like vacant or closed, that's somebody who, God forbid, their house burned down or their trailer or what have you, and they moved, but they didn't pay their past trash bill, or God forbid somebody's family member passed away and the family didn't close the account. Well, they still have the bills before the family member passed away, and they just didn't pay it. I mean, it's just like if my mom or dad passed away, my brother and I would have to take care of any and all debts they had. And so that's where, people live off or what have you. And so it just collects over time. I mean, there's some on there that look like they go back to 2010 when this service started. This is a service. This is not government employees that we contract with this company. And it used to be ADSI. They got bought out recently by Meridian, which is a bigger company out of New Jersey, I believe. And, they bill us. And so we're just trying to make sure the bill evens out. And so when I was elected, I took last year to really kind of learn a lot and, talk to different department heads, elected officials. And this was brought to my attention. And I'm like, wait a second. We're $400 and something thousand in the hole in this. What can we do?
Well, everything that we do, and I just mentioned the utilities, but all right, let's say I just don't feel like paying the taxes on my property.
They list that in the paper, and it goes to a tax sale.
Exactly.
And so that's why we said, well, why don't we list these names? And we found out there was $1.50 per name to list it in the paper.
Yeah.
Well, you saw and that was a lot of money that we didn't feel like the taxpayers should
okay.
pay for.
Well, they should.
So
let's do it.
No,
I'll sign off on that.
So we thought
let's list them.
We would list it the most economical way and put it on the Facebook. So.
Oh. Okay.
And as of yesterday at 5 p.m., we've collected a little over $2,500.
Correct. A little over 2,500.
So getting some good response from the Facebook post.
And that's in 2 working days. So that's not bad.
And from what I understand, most people are saying, "Oh my goodness, I didn't realize I owed this," because they had moved or whatever, and the new resident got the thing, and that So a lot of it is just honest. Oh my goodness, I forgot. I check got lost in the mail. What have you? So we're.
Oh my! I just simply forgot to pay my water bill.
The post office.
Oh my! I just forgot to pay my electric bill. I don't know why.
So let me ask you. You said that a lot of these properties may be vacant, or there are other circumstances where they're vacated by because
or
of
people
death
just
or
not
whatever.
paying.
But how many of those that are vacant? I mean, you're not picking up any garbage for them.
But it's previous bills before they were vacant.
But do they track? Does the company track when they're not picking up? Can they do that? Because if I've got a property that's just sitting there, I'm not putting my can out.
No, they charge us by cans. Okay, so they come out.
There is a can count.
Yes, there's a can count. They come out and they drop the cans way back when. Okay,
2010.
So there's numbers. All right, to get a new service or to cancel your service, you have to call the tax collector. The tax collector then takes it off her roll or adds it to her roll, sends it to the garbage company. The garbage company adds it to their roll or takes it away from their roll. So that's how they come up with the can count or keep the can count.
They do the can.
If people do not say I move, all right, I'll give you me for instance. My house got tore up last year in a tornado. Moved to another location.
Yeah.
If I don't tell the tax collector, hey, I've moved from this residence, I'm still tied in the system because the tax collector doesn't know. They don't go out and they don't assess the property. They don't do that. They collect the money.
So if you open up a service of your new residence and you got two trash bills.
Now I got two trash bills that are tied to me. Okay. I may not get my car tag at my old residence now, but that bill is still there. Every year it keeps building and building and building. So if where I used to live, somebody came in and bought that property, well, that address is still going to be tied into that money. It may be 10 years, so do the math. You're looking at $1,000.
But once again, though, on that vacant property, they're not picking up the cans. Whereas we talked about other utility bills and things like that, where you've got the power going, or you don't.
They're not.
Because nobody's using it.
They're
so they
not.
wouldn't get any bills.
But that can is still sitting there. That can is still sitting there. I didn't do my due diligence as what I should do is say, hey, I want to cancel this service because I'm moving here. The same way you would do if you had to pay land taxes. If I sold land, I'm gonna make sure that they know that I moved from that property or I've sold that property because
So you
I
don't want to pay the
be tied
taxes.
to it.
That's right. You don't want that tax bill from the property when it comes around.
And that's some of the things that people, I guess, don't realize, or what we need to do. At some point, the public we have got to do for ourselves. We have got to stand up and not depend on somebody else to do it for us.
We've been talking that on this show for a long time, haven't we, Rob? Rob, give a thumbs up.
We do.
You got to do some things for yourself, folks. You can't just rely on the government.
I get calls daily about where can I take my trash? Where can I take my trash? There's 3 landfills in this county that you can take it to,
and the roll-offs.
But it's going to cost you. So the county offers these roll-off containers.
And these are at the specific district sites, right?
District barns.
That's right. Every district barn. Every district barn's got one.
Every district barn has a rollback you can put solid waste in, but there's a requirement or there's a restriction, right? What can you not put in these rollbacks?
You cannot put tires. You cannot put batteries. And you cannot put any appliance with Freon. We have no way of getting rid of those.
Tires, batteries, and Freon.
Correct. But we also offer an amnesty day twice a year to where you can bring Freon, tires, and batteries, or any other hazardous material waste that you got that you need to get rid of. So 2 times a year we do that.
And y'all will dispose of it properly after that.
It's disposed of properly, but it costs the county around $25,000 plus to hold these.
Okay, very good. Well, we're learning some stuff, and we've got some people wanting to call in and ask questions. But folks, those of you that are trying to call in, you got to stay with it, Bear, because we're getting around to you when you can, but you keep hanging up. So please don't keep hanging up if you want to talk on the show. All right, let's take a phone call here. Good morning, caller. Do you have any questions for J.J. Anders or for Mr. Daniel Mabry?
Yes, sir. This is Lefty. This is for Mr. Anders.
Yes, sir.
Have you been contacted about restriping the road from the other side of the bridge on Pine Springs Road that's in your district?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And
when's that going to happen?
I don't have a specific date for you yet, but I know I've talked to the road manager, not Ryan Mosley, he's the number 2, but Rush Mayat, and that is in the works. They're going to stripe that one. They're going to do La Zelia and a couple others too. It's just they're waiting for the weather to get better and do a bunch of them at one time. But that is coming, yes, sir.
Okay, good, because it's impossible to see at night, especially when it's raining.
You're right, and
a long time.
I got 2 suggestions for you, Lefty. First of all, quit staying over at your girlfriend so late. And then, secondly, there's a roller.
Don't tell your wife about it either.
There's a roller and a paint bucket in your closet, and there's nothing else to do. Why don't you go paint that thing?
I don't have a record as of yet, and I don't want to start now.
But yes, sir, that is
Never too early.
That is hopefully going to happen this spring to early summer for both of those.
Okay. One suggestion: why don't they?
My understanding is we cannot do that.
Cannot do that.
We cannot do that. As my
Is he
understanding.
right, Daniel? You're the enforcer.
We can't put liens on properties. We can't because of the way it's set up.
The last meeting we had, we did turn it over to the county attorney. So
Right, to check into, we're checking into legality.
To see what we can do and can't do.
And also, can we interrupt, not stop the service, but interrupt it? But then we're going to put more pressure on our partner vendor, Meridian Waste, to what houses they pick up and not. I mean, is that fair to the vendor to pick and choose, but which ones they pick up? But there's other things we're looking at. Again, I can only come from my background and what I've experienced in my career from a business world, and I'm trying to attack this from a business standpoint. And how do we not necessarily put a burden on the people that are doing the right thing, but how do we fix this issue going forward to where in 3 or 4 years we're not talking about this anymore? And that's yet to,
how long is this accrued?
Since 2010 when it started, sir. And like I say, I came on board last January, so a little under 14 months, and Ms. Speidel, who's our tax collector, brought this to my attention, and I'm on the trash committee with Kyle Rutledge, and we've discussed it for a couple of months now, and we finally got to the point where we've sent so many delinquent notices, so many letters, trying to contact every which way we were like, well, let's list it just like we do the tax sales. I mean, you know, I can't speak for anybody before. I can only speak for myself. And I mean, you know, I may have make somebody mad, but I was all in favor of putting it out there. I mean, you know, just like we do the land rolls.
We got some bills going all the way back. People have not paid since 2010.
Yes, sir, since it started.
That's incredible.
Yes, sir. It sure
What
is.
is that, 14 years you just don't pay your garbage?
Yes, sir.
That's
but
just being honest.
hard to believe.
But in all fairness, like we were talking about before, some people passed away.
Yeah.
You know, they should have already notified the tax collector and let them know that there's no service there. That way we could get that can picked up and get it off of that list.
This is a message for you that are living and you're closing out a parent's or
This
family
isn't
member's
for dead
estate.
people then.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, not for the dead, for the living.
Yeah, this is for those that are survived to close out the trash account
Right, to
there.
close these out, or if you move, close it out. That way it comes off of there and your name's not
Just like
on
you
the
do with
list.
the land sales. Just like you do. But since we're talking trash,
Let me check with
Sure.
Lefty. Any other questions before I let you go?
No.
All right. Good to hear you.
thank you, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
well, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir.
All right. Lefty's going to get his stripes by mid-May. Then.
And Roger, since we're talking trash, and I have the man, the myth, the living legend, Mr. Daniel here.
The living legend.
That's right.
The guy who knows more about trash than anybody.
You know, everybody's heard of April 1 being April Fool's Day.
Yes.
This is not an April Fool's joke, what I'm about to say.
Okay. All right.
You know, ADSI, who used to be our trash people, they were
Right.
a smaller family company out of Alabama.
Yeah.
Well, they have been bought by Meridian Waste, who is a big conglomerate out of New Jersey. And they have informed us they're going to start abiding more so by the contract, and that give us a little more leeway. What that means is starting April 1st, they're only wanting to pick up their blue can. You know, right now, a lot of people have the blue can, but they may have a can from Lowe's or Ace or Walmart or put a bunch of stuff out there beside it. As of April 1, they're informing us they are only going to get their blue can, nothing else.
You see what happens when you let the Yankees in down
Yeah,
there? You see what happened?
Yes.
Did you let this happen?
I did not. The ADSI made a business decision to
We
sell out.
had some good old folks from Alabama picking up our trash. Now we got some Jersey
Right.
people going there.
Wasn't Tony Soprano was in waste management.
Yes.
I'm putting that out there. I mean,
And
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
going to make him mad.
Hey,
We're
you
going to
know.
pick up your trash, but we ain't going to pick up our cans. We ain't going to no Walmart cans.
So
Waste cans.
this is why, you know, Daniel
Forget
talking
about
about the roll-offs is so important.
Yeah.
When you get those Amazon boxes or those Zappos boxes or whatever boxes, if they cannot fit in your blue can, you really need to take them to the roll-offs because they are not going to pick them up anymore is what they're informing us. If it's not inside that can, if you need another can, you can always go to the tax collector and pay an additional $168 and get a second can. Now, I know another $14 a month, people don't want to do that, but what I want to do, and that's one of the reasons I wanted Daniel here this morning, is because I think we need to start letting people know this is coming.
Right now, yes.
Yeah, in 5 weeks, and so people can be prepared or what have you. But it goes back to the contract, and you think about it. They've got their trucks and they've got their routes, and if they're picking up extra at every house, then they got to break and go to the landfill and come back. And they may not finish the route.
You can just tell Jersey that that's not legal because once they started picking up our loose debris and extra cans, you got to keep doing it.
That's right.
That's to use the same mentality as the county over there. What, Daniel? What's wrong with that?
Yeah,
Dan?
it's not going to work that way.
Well, I'm just using y'all's own logic there, your own rules.
Here's what happened. It was the perfect storm. Prices went up.
Yeah.
Okay, and they haven't been up in 12 years, 15 years, whenever from day one. It hasn't been up, so they had to go up because we were behind on fees. All right, probably more than the $461,000, way more. So now we're getting back to where we're supposed to be. All right, but these guys, now we're trying to hold them to the contract. They're going to hold us to the contract, and that's what it's going to go back to that. The new company comes in. I think it's time to do it. Let's do it, and let's do it right. Let's not abuse the system. Let's not. There's houses I ride to that they may have one blue can and there's 6 Walmart cans out there.
Oh, yeah. That's a problem. Yeah, I get that. We just use the blue cans ourselves. I'll just say that.
Well, hypothetically, say somebody has 2 blue cans.
They'll pick them both up.
But if this hypothetical person is only paying for one, and they just happen to acquire a second blue can,
Now you're thinking like Jersey people.
this is hypothetical. I assure you. I don't have two blue cans.
All right, here's what's fixing to happen because my territory is Lauderdale County.
Okay.
And I ride these roads every day. I fill my truck up probably 3 times a week.
Wow.
When I see 2 cans, I call the tax collector and I verify it. If it's not verified here lately, I've just been picking the 1 can up, leaving them 1 can, and taking it with me. What we're probably fixing to start doing is I had a talk with the tax collector yesterday. We're just going to start, when I verify there's 2 blue cans, I'll take a picture of them, the address. She's going to send a bill for 2 cans.
Yeah.
So,
well, just save you a phone call. You see 2 cans at our driveway, it's because we live right next to our in-laws and my in-laws.
I do my investigation. I make sure that there's not a house in the back. I count mailboxes. I'm going to do my due diligence.
I have to stick another mailbox by my house.
I'm going to do the. Well, it needs to come back to an address.
I'm glad we can make trash fun. Well, I like making trash fun.
I do. My job, and I feel like I've been a public servant since 1994, and I just feel like that. I need to do right by the people. I mean,
and Daniel does a phenomenal job, but more or to add on to what he's saying, when you have the 1 blue can and the 6 Walmart cans, they're filling up. They're dumping them all right now. Well, that's causing that trash truck to fill up quicker.
Yeah.
So they're leaving and going to the dump. They don't care how many times they dump, really, because they send the waste management bill for where they dump straight to the county.
To the county, right.
So we're paying more. So that's another reason we're losing money in the trash is because people aren't paying their, getting the second cans or third cans that they need.
I know you're already paying for trash pickup, but if you have something extraordinary, tip your trash guy. He'll take care of it. Just keep it quiet. All right. It'll happen. All right. More.
I can see that.
I'm thinking like Jersey folks now.
I can see that.
But the point is, we got a caller on the line. Let's get this question in here. Good morning, caller. Welcome to our show. How you doing? Hello,
y'all there?
Yes, we're here. Come on in.
Hey, how blessed are we in Lauderdale County that this is what we got to worry about? I mean, our problems ain't really that big, but it's garbage. People pay your bill, and then people out there pick it up, do what you need to do, and pay your bill. What I'm calling about is something, Mr. JJ, that you have nothing to do with, but you probably got the power to at least bring it to the table.
Yes, sir.
Since 2021, your Board of Supervisors minutes or agenda has not been placed on the county's website. Since the county moved from the Raymond P. Davis Annex building at the Lamar Hotel to the new facility, none of the meetings have been put on YouTube like they used to be. There's no kind of outlet to let us know what's on the agenda, what's been posted, or anything like that. And I understand that it's posted at the courthouse, but your average Lauderdale County citizen that works at 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, or some that work 12-hour shifts, don't have the accessibility to get down to the courthouse to view what's been said.
Yes,
so we would really, and I speak we, a good number of citizens, we've emailed our supervisors, and it seems to fall on deaf ears. So we'd like to see what we could do about maybe getting those caught back up. Also, the calendar on the county's website with the Board of Supervisors meeting is still 2024's. So we'd just like to have some updated information on the county's website. I know that's probably an IT issue. Not really anything to do with the Board of Supervisors.
But you bring up a very good point, sir.
Nobody
That's very
is
good.
holding them accountable. They don't put that on there. But we would like to have a little bit more of that public information actually put on that website that the county's already paying for, so it's not going to cost any extra. Or maybe, like you said, with the garbage thing, putting something on Facebook pretty much is free. Putting something on YouTube pretty much is free. And
they can put the list on their website.
Yes, let those citizens that are working these 8 to 5. I'm not saying everybody, but a good majority aren't able, and they want to be involved in your local politics. We want to know what's going on, and when people are not shown what is going on, people always speculate. And I know y'all aren't doing anything underhanded, but people speculate. What are they doing that they don't want to put it on YouTube anymore? or what's going on, that they're not putting the minutes on the Facebook page anymore. And we just want to cut out all that kind of confusion.
All right.
Sure.
I appreciate the job y'all do, and I think y'all do an excellent job. And I wish I could be at every council meeting. Just kind of miss kind of really knowing what's going on.
All right. Well, you want to see the minutes
But,
in the,
it's
the calendar.
a catch-22. We put y'all in office because we believe y'all would do the job that you're supposed to do, and I believe y'all are doing that. But
Thank you.
I think it's more of a accountability issue that and other people that really want to know
All
what's
right.
going on inside the county that don't have the means to come to those meetings.
Very good. Thank you for the phone call. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for listening. That's good. Anything you want to reply to that, or
No, what I will do, and to the gentleman that just called, is we have a work session Thursday morning, and I will bring it up in work session and see where we are with that and go from there.
love it?
Yeah, I mean, that's all I can do is be the advocate of Charles and everybody else in District 1 that they elected me to. I hope Charles voted for me, but that they elected me to do. And, I had a conversation with a gentleman yesterday, and he called me about a concern he had. And I just said, look, I can't direct anybody to do anything. As a supervisor, we're over the budgetary, over the bigger decisions. We control the sheriff's budget or the road department or the tax collector's budget, but that does not give me the authority to go in there and prop my feet up and start looking in their computers and tell their employees what to do. Mm-hmm. That's not what we do, but we are their advocate. So if Charles has a concern, I'm going to call Daniel or whoever I need to call and say, hey, look, Daniel, Mr. Frazier at such and such address, he's got this concern.
With one garbage can. Only one.
Yeah.
Clarify. All right.
What can we do? And really, and then report back to my constituent, where we are, or have Daniel or whoever contact them. And that's what we are, is we're a representative republic. You know about that. And
I've heard that.
You've heard that once or twice.
I have,
and so I am District 1's representative of 105 of that board. And again, I'm loving every second of it, and I'm here to help where I can. And if we can't, then we got to have the tough conversations of, we can't do this, and here's why. Mm-hmm. We're looking into that. It's going to happen, but it's just not going to happen quickly.
All right, we've got another caller on the line. Good morning, caller. You have a question for Mr. Anders and Mr. Mabry.
Charles didn't vote for you.
There were a lot of good people running that race, as I recall.
I didn't know there was anybody else.
What's your definition of underhanded? But anyway, moving right along. Let me get one thing. I'm trying to stay up with this conversation. I know I might have missed part of it, but now, okay. So this property owner that owns the property is alive, and he's $1,300 behind on garbage fees.
Yes.
Now, what's going to be done to him to fix that, to alleviate that, and get the money in, so maybe you won't have to keep going up on the fee? What is going to be done to that property owner to get that money out of him?
We're exploring options as we speak with our county attorney. Right now, the only thing we can do is hold a car tag if there's a car tag associated with that address with the same name.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm sorry I didn't complete my his name, and he owes the $1,300. The property owner owns the $1,300. So as of right now, y'all don't have any. Hadn't come up with anything yet to recoup the money.
Not yet. We're actively working to find a solution to that, because legally we cannot stop the service once it started, and it started back in 2010. So what we're looking into, can we interrupt the service? What other avenues do we have? Again, all I can say for me, speak for myself, is this was brought to my attention 6-8 months ago, and it's kind of been a bee in my bonnet. Let's put it that way.
Well, that's why we brought the Jersey mob in. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, they got, they'll make you pay.
And Daniel, and Daniel exhausts everything he can. I mean, he'll go and verify. He'll go and pull cans. I mean, that is the right first step. And the second step is to put sunshine on it, put sunlight on it, and let's bring it to the attention. That's $461,000 and change that could go a long way to paying that garbage fund or helping out the county in other ways.
Not increase my garbage bill. Yeah.
Just one thing. I mean, you send him a certified letter saying, the interest starts now. You owe $1,300, but this interest is going to start accruing right now on this past. You make it more of a fine than a bill maybe for once it goes delinquent, it becomes a fine. And I'm just throwing out stuff here, and it will start accruing interest. So, and if you don't pay that, then I don't know. I know you can't attach the property like you do if you don't pay his property tax, but. Anyway, seems like maybe I'll come up with something.
We're working on it.
All right. Thank you for the phone call. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Maybe we could dump the garbage on their property.
And that's but that's the other problem. If we 5 in here, if 2 of us aren't paying and the other 3 are, and they pick up, all they're going to do is they're going to go find a hollow somewhere and throw their trash in there, or their tires or what have you.
And then I got to go dig through it, find your name.
And then NDEQ finds us or potentially finds us. And so it's again.
Now, here's a figure I hope you can dig out for me, because I'm curious. Of that, what are we calling this, $400 and some $1,000 delinquency? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
400 and some change?
461 and change.
461 and some change. Okay, that's some change. What is the percentage? What's the percentage of offenders versus, how many people, what's the percentage of people paying their bill versus those that aren't?
It's small.
Okay, I'm really kind of curious, because you hear $460,000. Man, that's half the people not paying their bill. But
no, it goes back to 2010, and it's a snowball effect.
And here's another reason the list got put out. It's going to help clear some of this up. Like I said, the ones who are not beating the system are going to get cleared up.
Yeah.
The ones who are beating the system are going to get found out. I mean, that's just the way it is.
And the tax collectors already had numerous calls. Oh my goodness, I thought I mailed that check in. This, that, and the other, and so they're actively working to get it cleared up.
What does the city use for enforcement when it comes to the city trash?
Theirs is tied to the water and sewer. All theirs is tied together.
And they've only got one can. They won't pick up anything else but their one can.
So let me just think this out a minute here. It's tied to the water and sewer, which
but we don't have a way to tie it.
No, okay. I'm just trying to. I want to make sure I understood what you said. It's tied to the water and sewer, so that if they don't pay any of that, then obviously the garbage stops too.
No, the water stops.
The water stops.
But the trash doesn't.
Okay, got you. And of course, that's incentive to get the trash going because you want the water flowing. I got you. But we don't have any way, because we have independent water companies.
Correct.
And we have independent, what was the other thing? Water and
sewage.
Yeah.
And power.
And we did, yeah. Okay, so the county's a whole different ballgame for that reason. That's all. I think I understand it now. Let's go to the phones. Another call. Good morning. Do you have any questions for Mr. Mabry or Mr. J.J. Anders?
Yes, sir. I come in peace. Love everybody, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Not a thing.
I met this gentleman the other day for the first time.
That's Mississippi. Yep. Let's see. Yep. He's still Mississippi James.
Hey, speaking of that, now I know we're talking about the county garbage, but I'm in the city. And I asked him, I said, well, I'm not here, 4, 5, 6 months out of a year. Do I have to pay garbage for those? Come by, and I'm not putting out garbage. And they told me, they said, well, you got to pay the first 2 months. Then you come down the 3rd month and file for a waiver. I said, well, hell, I'm getting ready to come back by the 4th month.
Yeah. Might as well just keep it going.
Do the county have anything like that as a waiver for people that's maybe gone?
Good.
All right, so repeat that. I'm sorry, I was talking to Daniel. Sorry.
Do you still have? He says, do you have a waiver where people, if they're part-time residents, like for example, they're going to be gone half the year?
Not that I know of.
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, not that I know.
Not that I'm aware of.
That's a no, sir.
Okay. And, when they started with the water, the electric, they call it availability service. So the first time I got a bill from Cincinnati, over $50-some, and I didn't use a drop. The water was cut off. And they say, hey, you got availability of water. So it's a service fee that's added to it. So that's what we begin to see now. A lot of service fees adding up and, just different things. So, all right, you guys have a good day, and I'll see some of you at the pancake breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Sounds good. Good call there. Of course, while we're talking about making sure we provide service, there's a company in town that provides good service for you, and I'm talking about the folks at Southern Business Supply.
That's right. Family owned and operated for over 38 years. Of course, everything you need for your office, they have in stock. whether that's pens, papers, staples, or filing cabinets, bigger stuff. You need a desk, a chair, anything you need for your office at all, they've got it right there. All you need to do is go to their website, southernbusinesssupply.com, or give them a call, 601-485-2447, or better yet, go check out their showroom at 5685 Dale Drive. All kinds of office furniture in stock right there. And it's just so easy. Monday morning, I look at what I need for my restaurant and my office, and I say, oh, I need some paper and pencils and pens and paper. And, well, it's paper twice. And I go to their website and order it, and then it's delivered the next day. You can't beat it. SouthernBusinessSupply.com, open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, 601-485-2447. And that address again, 5685 Dale Drive, just up the road from us. When you buy local, your money stays here. Say no to the big box stores and say yes to SouthernBusinessSupply.com.
Daniel Mabry, I think, probably got a call about going picking up some tires, so he had to go.
That's exactly where you went.
Is that right?
Yeah, he had to go meet one of the guys from the road department and go address an issue with an illegal dump site. But just to clarify one thing before the advertisement, the only exemption that's out there for trash in the county is if you, like, I think Delwood has their own dumpsters or what have you, so the trash trucks, if you have a dumpster, at your business or at your, campground or RV park or mobile home park, then that is the only exemption that's out there. But you have to show the contract and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So just kind of like in the city, if you own a business and have a dumpster, you can have the trash taken off your water bill, but you have to show them a contract. They have to come see the dumpster.
I'm with you. All right. Rob has joined us there on the back of the microphone.
Well, it's trashy in here.
Talking trash.
You've been hearing the conversation. Did any questions come to your mind while you're sitting over there?
No, I mean, it makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, especially about, you mentioned the can. I mean, I've witnessed it myself. People just pile and pile and pile on the side of the road. And I'm like, it's like, guys, they can't handle all that,
Can't put that couch out there.
Well, and that's one of the reasons Daniel verified that with him yesterday, because when he asked if he could come on with me, I was like, heck yeah. And I said, but we need to find that out, because we need to start telling people, be prepared. Because, I'll get text pictures, what they picked my can up, but why didn't they get all these other, well, the boxes weren't broken down or they didn't have space or what have you. But that's what the county roll-offs are for. If you can't fit it in your can, you can take it to one of those 5.
So starting April 1, it's got to go in that can, and bottom line.
That's all they're picking up is that one can, is what they're telling us.
Right.
And now if you have more than one can on a consistent basis, it may be worth another $14 a month. Think about it. If you go to Chick-fil-A or anywhere, you're going to spend $14, $15.
Sure.
Pretty quick.
Yeah.
There you have it. All right, we've got another caller on the line. Let's take a phone call. We have J.J. Anders here, who is the supervisor, District 1, Lauderdale County, and, of course, Charles, Rob, and Roger. Good morning, caller. Welcome to our show.
Well, good morning. He's actually my supervisor in my district, and I've called him several times.
Oh,
well, thank
good.
you.
What did you call him?
What's that?
What did you call him?
He can't say it on air.
We can't say that on the air.
It's a family show.
Hey, but look, I've called poor old Daniel Mabry so much because we live on, and JJ, I live on the Dabbs Road. I got a shop on the Dabbs Road. It's a half paved, half dirt road.
Yes, sir.
That is notorious for dumping. It's constantly being dumped on. And we try to police it pretty good. But I've got a question and a possible solution. The question is there any way to tie in with EMEPA on collections the way they do for the collections for the fire department? Because one, if you have power, you're going to have garbage collection. If you don't have power, you're not going to have more than likely have garbage collection. Is that something you could maybe work with them to pay a fee to them to just actually collect the money for the county?
That is a very common sense solution to a problem. But again, we have our attorney, Lou Thaggart, checking into any and all possibilities of how we can correct this issue. Yes, I think that's a phenomenal idea, and just pay MEPA a little percentage to help collect that.
Work out something with Mississippi Power, because some of the county has
Mississippi Power. That's the other challenge. So, but no, we are actively, and again, all I can say is for my almost 14 months, this along with a few other issues are things that I'm really looking into that are important to me because it just doesn't make sense. This is what they call an enterprise account. It's supposed to be a net zero account where it's a fee. It's not a tax. It's it's a service that The county provides its citizens, and it's supposed to, if we all pay this fee, it's supposed to even out.
I think you give me an idea, caller. You have given me an idea, and I think this is the answer. It's tied to the Sam's card. Because when you go to Sam's, you're making trash because you're getting boxes and things like this. Paul, don't shake your head at me like that. No. And if you don't pay your garbage fee, you don't get a Sam's card.
Hey, we can also let's bill Amazon for it because I promise you.
Oh, heck yeah! Heck yeah!
We can bill, or Amazon.
They come to my house daily.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
But
Paul.
another option would be maybe you could get with MEPA and print out a list of recently cut off power and recently cut on power to use in weeding out the people who actually moved instead of billing them continuously. That's something y'all could get where the power's been cut off. You know they don't have power, so hey, you know they don't have garbage pickup.
Ah, there you go.
That's another great idea. I mean,
communication point.
Yes.
And another thing, I wish you would agree. Would talk to this Meridian Waste and ask them when they dump the cans, what they spill, would they please pick up? Because in our community, we live in Chamberville. When I leave out of here, every single house has trash at the driveway from them dumping.
Wow.
Okay.
I called and called and called.
Our guys are a lot neater.
Complained before.
Well, that goes back to, and recently Daniel published on his Facebook page the requirements, and that goes back to Meridian Waste also saying in their contract everything that can has to be in a trash bag tied up.
But they could tear the bag.
They could, absolutely, they could, but they should pick that up and they should place the cans back.
What I've noticed when I'm seeing them dump, if it's windy or whatever, when the garbage goes in there and they've already squished it, it's all busted up, so you've got a lot of loose garbage.
Sure.
They drive off, it's blowing out, or it's just something. I mean, hey, if they dump the can and they see something right there beside them, bend over, pick it up.
Yes,
we're going to be, as a community, do what we need to do. Be a good member of the community where you work and take pride in your job.
That just goes back to, like, you know, how I'm trying to raise my boys. You see a piece of trash, pick it up, throw it in the can. I mean, I don't care I don't care whose sock is in the middle of the floor. One of y'all pick it up and put it in the dirty clothes bin.
Exactly.
You know.
But maybe that's two items to look at.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir.
So you have no socks lying around your house?
I'm
just asking.
I cannot confirm or deny.
Boys, pick up my socks.
Well,
there you go.
Yeah, just have kids for that reason.
Yeah.
You know, I just got a text from my wife. You know, she was talking about the state of Florida. In the state of Florida, what they do with the garbage fee is they add it to your property taxes.
And that
Florida
would be the wisest thing to do.
That is one thing we're looking at it currently.
I knew it.
You know, again,
you're right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, she just messaged me and let me know.
Well, if you do that opens up another can of worms that we'll get into later. But
we'll just make sure the worms are in the can and
unless you're fishing. But you know,
blue can. Put the worms in the
one blue can.
You know, this is an issue. Like most people think, it shouldn't be an issue. You know, so
y'all can fix it. Y'all gonna be able to fix it.
We're actively looking for a solution.
There you go. Good stuff. I'm just glad we got the cans. I'm glad we got the weekly pickup. Keep it that way, of course, but we appreciate that.
What?
Are we talking about going up?
No, I'm not talking about anything.
I just saw you. I saw your face a minute, and I saw a look. Anyway, all right. Well, let's tell folks about.
Better not vote at the school for that.
Yeah.
Here's something that looks trashy. Here's something that looks trashy, and it's actually dangerous, and that is a cracked windshield.
You're right about that.
Why don't you go to A&A Glass and get that thing fixed?
That's the only place to
go.
Good
fellas.
#1 glass replacement company in town, have been for 10 years running. I think you might say they know what they're doing at this point. Conveniently located at 217 22nd Avenue, also called Seal Award, Calhoun Parkway. Just 2 doors down from the Meridian Children's Museum. 601-693 is their number. They're open 8 to 4, Monday through Friday. They will fix your windshield if you've just got a crack in it, or they will replace it as well. And, of course, they're fast, friendly, efficient, and they'll beat any price in town. A&A Glass. Call Adam and Adam, 601-693 Go see them, 217 22nd Avenue. #1 glass replacement company here in town.
All right, it's Mornings in Meridian. We got just a few more minutes before we have to let Mr. JJ go, but just say good morning, caller. How you doing?
Lefty had one more question.
Yes, sir.
All right, sir.
what does where do the tires go?
On your car, I believe. It's where I put mine.
Well, let's see. There's a ravine over on Paulding Road. Let's see. There's a little place over there on Jimmy Rogers Parkway.
Used to be one
Let's
on
see.
Knox Road.
No, over by JJ's house.
Yes, sir. That tires are a big issue because of MDQ over in Jackson and the regulations and how they can't go in landfills, that kind of thing. So we have to collect them, and once we get X number or trailer load or whatever, we have to ship them off to a facility, a recycling facility, that costs the county a lot of money. And so the challenge is, when people don't dispose of them the correct way, and then they throw them in gullies and hollers and things like that, and then it gets reported, then we've got to go in as a county and pay for that cleanup, pay for that restoration. MDEQ comes over and verifies it's cleaned and restored the right way, which costs us more money, and then we still have to send them off. So it's like anything else, it's a snowball effect. Once one person does it, I can throw my tires over there because somebody else is doing it.
Right.
And then it gets found out, Daniel finds it or whatever, then we've got to use our tax dollars to go
get those tires out
and clean it up and everything else. I mean, you'll see a nice new fence on Knox Road.
And then what do you do with them once you pick them up?
We store them until we get X number, then we have to ship them off.
You ship them off to a
recycling facility,
Gotcha.
which costs you and I more money.
There it is.
All
right, good question. Thank you.
If you go to the tire shop and, they're responsible for disposing of them themselves. But,
Now, we know where the tires go. Do you know where the people go that throw the tires in the ravine? You know where they're going?
No.
All right, never mind. All right, is that it there, Lefty?
No, I didn't get an answer to the question. Where do the tires go once I pick them up? Where do I take them if I have the initiative to try and clean up some tires?
Oh, okay. You can call Daniel Mabry, and we'll have his number here. Well, I'll give you his cell number right now. His number is 601-816-7923. You can call Daniel, and he'll tell you where to bring them, and like I said, we store them and then ship them off.
Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, that answered my question. Then.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you for the phone call.
Well,
we got just a couple of minutes before we take a break. Go ahead, Charles.
I was going to say it brings up another question because you talked about recycling.
Yeah.
And are there any plans to start using a recycling system here in the county?
I wish, but no.
Okay.
And the reason is we don't have a recycling facility close enough to make it cost effective.
Okay.
And so it would end up costing the citizens of the county more than we feel like they're ready to stomach. And so, because there's no recycling facility close enough for us to collect it and ship it to, or nobody's wanting to come get it to be profitable enough to make it worth their while to recycle it. It's just that is a shortfall we have in our area at the moment for recycling.
Okay.
And it's a potentially good business for somebody if a company were to come here to open a recycle place, but currently there's not one.
Okay. All right.
All right. One person texting in asks if you need a new can, like your old one's getting damaged.
Call the tax collector.
Call the tax collector. Really?
Yep.
Okay.
And another thing that.
So if I call Doris Spidle's office and say, Doris, I need another can. This one's all tore up. She going to bring me one? No, she's not, but she's going to either contact Daniel or Meridian Waste, and we'll get out there. Daniel's run many a can out to people's houses. Okay, very good. Well, I'll let him get away. I could use a new one. All right, that's all right then. All right, well, we've got to take a break here, but you don't have to go away. I'm here till 9. Y'all unless you kick me out. Well, we're gonna talk with Paul about some pancakes. He's brought some food in here, but just hang in there for that discussion. And I misspoke. You call Meridian Waste directly for your new can. The tax collector will point you in that direction. You call Meridian Waste. All right, and that
Get
number.
that 1-800 number.
Yeah,
we'll have Bangladesh.
Yeah, I'll get. We'll give that number out when we come back. But we've gone. Can you believe we went a whole hour without taking a break? Feels like 5 minutes. I'm telling you. That's the way it is when you have the county in here. Woo! We got to get this break in. We'll be right back. Stay with us. on, country boy. All righty. Mornings in Meridian.
You're getting a little excited there, Roger.
Well, I'm eating these pancakes that you brought.
Yeah.
That's the voice of Paul Tarver. Of course, J.J. Andrews still in the house with us.
Can't get rid of me.
That's okay. We're glad to have you. It's nice to have a political figure that wants to be on the show.
Well, I hate to interrupt, what they're talking about, because what you're talking about is very important stuff. But this only comes once a year, so.
Well, no, this is very good. There, we've got it's going on right now, the Pancake Jubilee, in which you have brought pancakes for all of us here.
Did.
And I am enjoying. I'm eating them right now.
We're good. Go ahead. I can talk amongst myself if I need to. Well, so it is the 78th annual Pancake Jubilee, and just for the record, I haven't been to every one of them. I've only been to 33 of them. So,
and JJ being a politician, you're going to have to be down there. I mean,
I'm going when I leave.
It's required visit.
Mm-hmm. So, I one of the things that was one of the most fun things back in the early days, Sonny Montgomery was a member of the Optimist Club.
Mm-hmm.
And he would come down and hold court on Pancake Jubilee Day, and he would sit at one table for about 2 or 3 hours. Anybody that came in wanted to sit down with him, he would sit down and visit with them, and it was part of the deal,
Mm-hmm.
So it's always been one of those things where, I guess politics and pancakes all mixed together. It's a good place to
politics.
I've always called it Meridian's front porch, is the way I describe it.
That's a good description.
I mean, you got people breaking bread across from each other, don't get to see each other very often. I mean, I've been down there and seen Con sit across, the table from the sheriff's department guys, and they know each other, and they call a truce and eat some pancakes and help the youth of the community, and it's a good thing.
Oh, it's great. Well, this is the annual fundraiser for the Downtown Optimist Club. It is the Pancake Jubilee, and just remind people some of the people that are helped by way of this fundraiser.
I can do that. We've got about 18 youth programs in the community that we put money into every year. Our budget runs $19,000 a year we're giving back to youth in our community. That's the Boys and Girls Club, Boy Scouts, Stage 2, Carter Foundation, Little Men Mentors. We've been a long supporter of Cans for Kids. Of course, that's changing these days with the loss of Gary last year. That's a bummer. Nobody's picking that up. That would be an awesome grassroots thing to take over and keep going. But we take care of Angel Tree with Salvation Army. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And as a matter of fact, we had some volunteers come out and help us Sunday, and I've encouraged them to come out there and maybe see if we can't get them in our budget and see if we can't help them as well. So we've got the Debs will be there tonight. Boy Scouts will actually be there tonight to help us clean up. I mean, so one of the things that I want to make a point of this year is the fact that this is a community effort. It's really, it used to be just 100% Downtown Optimist Club, and we've changed that over the years because we get help from the Debs, we get help from Carter Foundation, we get help from those the process, and teach them how to give back. The Debs have, been awesome for us for over the years. They'll help us with our T-ball program and everything else. And then we give a little money to help support them in their endeavors and what have you. It's a good way to do that. But today we actually have volunteers there from Care Lodge. They brought in a bunch of people because we help with Care Lodge we actually give money to Care Lodge specifically for if they bring in a kid who doesn't have a school uniform, they have funds that they can allocate for that. If the refrigerator goes out, they give us a call. We help them replace that equipment because they got to have milk and they got to have the things that children need when they come in. And so as long as it's helping kids, fits with our charter, and that's what we do. So
it's good having Paul on the air because I can eat a whole pancake while he's talking.
I've seen you eat. You've eaten two, I think.
No, I've eaten them. That's good. So Paul,
I can go till you finish that plate if you want. I mean, I ain't proud, but
no,
I mean, this ain't my first rodeo in front of a mic. So I mean,
Well, I know it's not, and we appreciate you being here for all kind of things. You're of course, a mixtape show each Monday night on the classic hit station, 97.9 The Buzz. But also, J.J. Andrews is here, and they have a caller on the line. I'm not sure what the call's about. Let's just find out. Good morning, caller. Welcome. Thank you for holding.
Good morning. I've got a question about those tires that y'all were mentioning a while ago.
Well, yeah.
Can you give that number again for Daniel again? Because I got some tires I need to get rid of.
Yes, sir. It is 601 616 7923. His office number is 601-482-9797.
No, on my card it says 816. Is that?
Oh, 816. Excuse me. My eyes are getting bad.
I just want to make sure.
816.
Sending him the wrong number.
Yeah.
I was like, that's tricky, man.
Some person's getting a call says, I don't know anything about no tires.
Quit calling me about tires.
816, correct.
601-816-7923.
I forgot my eyes.
What's the second number again, please?
601-816.
No, the office
Second
line.
number?
The phone number, for the office is 482-9797.
A lot of people giving numbers here.
That's right.
Okay, now I have one more question.
Sure.
Is it? I got into your being on the air kind of late. Did you mention a county recycle day coming up anytime soon?
We are going to have an amnesty day. We have not set a date yet, but when we do that, we will make sure that we publicize it every which way we can.
Okay. Second, one more question. On those days, and you usually have it out at the Ag Center, how many tires can you bring at that time on one of those days?
I believe it's 8, but I will verify that.
Okay, well, I'm going to ask Daniel, too.
Sure.
So,
Yeah, he'll know for sure because he runs
Yeah.
that, and that's in partnership with DEQ out of Jackson. They help fund that and let us do that for the residents so they don't end up throwing them in hollers.
I agree. I've got some property that's got some hollers that people dump in, and I get real upset.
Yes, sir. I
Oh,
would too.
absolutely. That's terrible. That's terrible.
Yeah. So anyway, thank y'all, and
Yeah.
I appreciate what y'all do, and keep on keeping on.
Thank you, sir.
Go get some pancakes.
Good phone call.
Here's my trashy comment to join in on this conversation.
Yeah. I mean,
As somebody who is, a mosquito sees me like I got a flashing sign for Ryan's Buffet. They think I am the place, right? So as somebody who is afflicted by mosquitoes, them tires are bad breeders for mosquitoes. Just saying.
Preach it, brother.
If you don't want mosquitoes on your property, don't leave no standing water, no tires, because they will be on you like pancakes and syrup.
Now, there is a place that disposes of their tires properly because sometimes they have to take the damaged tires off of your damaged vehicle, but they know exactly how to fix your vehicle and make it like new again, even putting the proper tires back on your vehicle. And I'm talking about Premier Paint and Body Shop right next to Johnson Dodge.
That's right. Over 30 years providing the best auto body work and quality paint jobs, and over 100 years combined experience among that hard-working, dedicated staff led by Ty Booker. And, of course, no job is too small, whether it's a ding, a dent, a scratch, or something a lot worse. And they'll give you a free estimate. They'll work with their insurance company, and all of their work, of course, has a lifetime warranty. And as Roger said, conveniently located right next to Johnson Dodge on Highway 39 North. They're open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. And here's their number. Write it down because when you need it, you need it. 601-482-PAINT. That's 601-482-PAINT. Just tell that tow truck driver, bring it over to Premier. He'll know exactly where to go. Premier Paint and Body is the premier paint and body shop here in town.
There you have it. All right, it's Mornings in Meridian. We're going to take another pitch for the Pancake Jubilee, and then Paul has to get back to his duty station.
Yeah, if I don't do my job, we don't have pancakes. The batter guy is kind of the important guy in the mix. I'm not proud
Batter
of
up.
anything. I'm just saying that's
Right.
what it is.
Right.
We started mixing at 4 o'clock this morning. We started serving at 6:30. We'll be there until 7 tonight. If we're lucky, we'll serve 2,500 people or more. So come be a part of it. Hang out with us. And
Does that count the 4 or 5 times that has goes in the line?
we don't talk
7 or
about
8.
halves.
Okay.
We do.
I mean, we've had a thing last 3 or 4 years where all the characters on this show seem to show up at the same time and eat together. Has got there early, so I don't know how many plates he's going to eat before Joe and Mississippi James and the rest of them get there. But it's a lot of fun anyway. Come in to break bread with your friends and hang out on Meridian's front porch. It's good for our community all the way around.
Perfect. All right, Paul Tarver, thank you for all you do, including mix and batter for the pancake breakfast.
Doing the mixing tapes and then the mixing batter.
I'm just
Wow.
a mixing fool.
Mixing fool.
He's mixed up, isn't
He is mixed up.
he? All right, thank
We
you,
all
Paul.
are a little bit.
Thanks for the pancakes. I enjoyed
Yes,
them.
sir.
Y'all enjoy them.
Yes,
sir.
indeed. All right, let's see. We're back with JJ, and of course, glad you're here, sir. Thank you for
Anytime.
hanging
y'all.
out with us.
Well, y'all know I'm happy to.
Let's
I've
take
got
a-
a face for radio.
I noticed you're putting hair on your face now. What is that? Is that approved by the boss or?
Not really.
All right, we'll see how this all ends up. Let's take a phone call here. Good morning. You have a question?
Morning, Roger. First of all, I want to say thanks to Paul and his folks. I've
Thanks
had
to
the
Paul.
pleasure and honor of being a guest at one of their meetings and see all the good works that they do here in our community, and certainly enjoy their friendship and the great product they put out for years. I've bought tickets for the guys that work for me just as a way to get us to all sit down with folks. And
oh, good.
I think Paul made the comment earlier. You'll find the cops sitting with cons and with the citizens and with everybody in between. And
that's a get
it's
together.
a time that we can just share and learn and have some fellowship together. So it's a great thing that they do for the community. So
there you go.
Paul, thanks.
Thank you,
I know
Paul.
You don't always hear that. That's good stuff. Now, for Mr. Andrews,
yes, sir.
Let me tell you a couple of things that may be of value to you. First of all, if you didn't catch the voice and nobody told you, this is Andy Skee from the Sheriff's Office.
Okay.
And I want to congratulate the Board of Supervisors on a great hire, first of all. Daniel Mabry has been a long-time resource to this community as a emergency responder. He's got a wealth of knowledge, and more importantly, he's not scared to ask questions and learn. We've worked together for years and years, and since he's assumed this role, he's been a regular call on my phone as we work through some of these complex issues. So it's a great working relationship that's going on there. So it was a well-advised hire. I want to clarify a couple of issues for folks that they may have and also give you a couple of ideas. So he's dealing with solid waste, particularly illegal dumping of things that are restricted, like tires, like old appliances, chemical waste, things of that nature that he works with our folks at Lima to make sure that stuff's handled. Litter, just everyday trash flying out of the back of people's trucks that people drop out of their cars. There are specific state statutes to deal with that, and any law enforcement officer can handle that kind of a problem when they come across it. But at the end of the day, it takes all of us to handle this problem. There's not a road that you can go down in Lauderdale County that doesn't have stuff sitting on the side of it. And the county spends a lot of time and money paying people to clean that stuff up when we go along and bush hog the sides of the roads and do things to try to make our county safer and our roads safer for people to travel on. Which brings the next interesting thing. It's coming on grass cutting season, quick, fast, and in a hurry. So there is statutes and things that limit how you deal with what you're doing with your yard debris, which means don't mow right up next to the road and throw all your grass clippings and the debris out of your yard out into the roadway, because that causes a hazard for passing motorists, especially if it's a little bit damp. It can be a huge problem. And there are state charges that are involved with that, and deputies and highway patrolmen and others will cite people who violate that statute. So that's not what Daniel does. That's the responsibility of everybody else. A couple callers back made a comment about power companies. A point of note is that we have two power companies that are engaged out in the county. Mississippi Power also has a large presence out there, so you have to deal with both. Now, obviously, Mr. Taggart's office will figure all that stuff out. I do have one good suggestion, I think. We made the mention that Meridian Waste is talking about picking up just the blue cans.
Yes, sir.
I think you got a lot of taxpayers that have invested in cans of their own, and I think the issue is, are we picking up one can at a time? If they got 3 or 4 blue cans and they're paying for those, great, no problem. But, like, I've got 3 different cans that I bought because I've got different places around my place that if I don't have it there now, I'm walking to go and throw something away, and it's not convenient. Would it not be reasonable to say, as long as you've got 1 can out at the road at the time that you're picking up, that it's the same thing? Doesn't matter if it's a blue can or it's a different can. It's still the same pickup. It's still the same volume. As long as we're adhering to all the rules, then I don't see the difference, because now you've got people who've invested because we created that system and said that it was okay to do that, and now we're going to change it. So maybe just a point of discussion with the folks at Meridian Waste, is that a flex that they can consider? Because I could easily just take the can from my shop, for example, that happens to be black, and that's just what goes out this week. And then next week I can go back to my blue can if that's what I need to do, just because where it happens to be.
Very valid point. Very valid point. And we will make sure that we bring that to their attention and get a response from them, so that before it goes live, we can make sure that we announce it. You know, that seems logical and common sense, but I can't speak for Meridian Waste.
Yeah, the only thing I think of is the blue cans are designed to have mechanical assistance when they dump them, but that's the only thing I know that would be different.
Yeah, and I would not submit that you should be using any other kind, and the one that I have does have that.
Has the bar that
You know,
they can lift up.
Lift up,
Sure. Yeah. So the truck. Now look, and I've watched these guys quite a bit because we've had complaints in different places, and before Daniel was on board, we had to deal with some of those. And it's interesting. A lot of these guys don't use that tipper on the back of the truck. They'll roll the can out there, flip the lid, reach in, grab a bag, toss the bag in.
Right.
Yeah.
That's probably where we're getting some of the broken bags and the trash on the roadway that another previous caller mentioned too. You know, they've got a device that's there to save their back and stuff like that. They made to use. Maybe it's broke on that particular truck that day. I don't know. But that's certainly an item of concern. And I wouldn't expect somebody to take some soft, little non-commercial style can and try to use it in the way that I suggested. It would have to be the one that would work with the equipment that they have, and that makes perfect sense. So, but anyway, all in all, a complex situation. We've worked with the folks in solid waste and also with our other folks handling some of that disposal when we've had some of these large tire dumps and things like that. We've found and had good success with some prosecutions along those lines too, because people who are commercially dumping, whether it's on their property or on somebody else's, that's an issue that we're going to handle.
And Lieutenant, this may not be on your on your duty list, but and I know in times past, we're talking about the roadways. We used to use inmates to go out and kind of pick up the trash and beautify our streets. Is that an option, or do we still do that, or can we do that again? What's the status there?
There is some discussion about that. In times past, there have been some funding that provided for that. That is Major McCarter, who handles our detention facility. That's kind of her bailiwick. We had an employee who oversaw those inmate workers that chose to be part of that system to be able to do some of that roadside pickup. But I know we haven't done it in some time, so that would be something I'd have to reach out to her and see what the status of that is. But I do recall in a recent meeting that was not in the immediate future for whatever reason. Part of it is that the state soaks those folks up and takes them off to their facilities pretty quickly after they get into the status where they could be used. So just not having access to the manpower to do it is the biggest challenge.
All right. Well, sir, appreciate the phone call.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for everything you're doing.
Yeah, thank you for serving Lauderdale County. You guys in the Sheriff's Department do a phenomenal job, and we're thankful for y'all every day.
All right, y'all take care.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll get some pancakes.
No, and of course, now I'll read his mind for you. Well, if you really think that much of us, you'll increase our budget next year.
Oh, no.
Anyway.
I'm sorry, you broke up on me. Staticky. Yeah. I couldn't hear you.
What was that?
Yeah, I didn't hear it.
Well, all we suggest is do as much buying as you can for the county down at Trucker Supply, because they have everything you need for the trucks you run and the tools you need.
The cars have it all at Truckers. Trucker Supply is your one-stop shop for all of your tools, everything you need. You know, they got Knipex tools.
Knipex.
That's fun to say.
I like
and
it.
They're like channel locks on steroids.
10 times a...
It's a Milwaukee Tool Super Center. Whether you want a cordless power tool, saw, drill, impact drill, sander, grinder, cutter, router, grease gun, and more.
I like
the
work
and
lights.
more. Work lights,
Battery-powered work lights.
Of course, and they all got those interchangeable batteries. You know, it's
Yeah.
just the system that you buy into. And they're made right here in the state of Mississippi. They ought to call them Mississippi tools, but
We should. Let's just do it.
I think we should.
It's Gulf of America, and it's Mississippi tools.
It should be the Gulf of Mississippi for that matter, too, anyway. And they've got Yeti, everything you need that's Yeti. Keeps my coffee hot, keep your cold beverages cold. And, of course, they've got the lunch boxes, the coolers, even Yeti dog dishes. That's right. Get the pooch a little something, too. And it's almost pressure washing time. They got the Hot Seat pressure washers, the best you can buy. Go see them, Trucker Supply, 519 Highway 19 South. They've been doing it since 1969, 56 years strong.
All right, got to take a quick break. We'll come back and finish up. Stay with us. It's Mornings in Meridian, the two best hours. And, well, if you listen a little bit, you know why we call it that.
I'm raising me a family and working on the farm.
I like a girl that'll throw a tire out on the side of the road once in a while. Hey, there you go.
Now, Debbie's never done that.
I like.
Here, watch this.
Don't tell Daniel who she is. He'll go get her.
I like a woman that'll leave
We
her.
needed that spare tire.
Darn it.
I like it when she leave her Amazon boxes outside the blue can. That's what I'm talking about.
Wow.
Oh, it's Mornings in Meridian. J.J. Anders, quite wisely, he brought the trash issue to the microphone this morning, so we didn't have to ask him any questions about what they're going to do with all that tax money they get off of the new project.
There it is.
Maybe they could reduce the garbage fees.
Okay, free garbage pickup. That'll solve everything.
We'll
Maybe
put
they
that-
pay us to pick it up.
We'll put that on the ballot and we'll vote at the schools next time.
School do I vote at?
I know, I got it.
Still picking that scab.
I
aren't you?
love that. That's my favorite one. Come on.
Never die.
You only have to vote at 4 schools. Okay. JJ didn't say anything about that. But listen, JJ,
Very
thank
quiet
you.
over there now.
Thank you for taking time, by the way, to come. And you
Happy to.
Let me just point out that he is president of the Board of Supervisors this year. Wow. And, of course, that's a nice way of saying, hey, it's your turn.
Yeah.
Do I have
Sucker.
to? All right.
Take the gavel,
Fine,
quick.
I'll do it.
But anyway, do come back. Let's talk more.
Anytime.
Let's talk more about what's
Anytime.
going on. We ought to just get you on a monthly rotation here because look at the questions that came in while you were here.
My thing is transparency is key because when we're not available to answer questions, that's when imaginations go wild.
That's
There you
right
go.
about
You
that.
know, I mean,
Speculation.
I'm happy to whenever y'all want me, just give me a call.
All right. Well, J.J. Anders, Supervisor, District 1, thank you for your time this
Yes, sir.
morning. Be sure and thank Mr. Daniel Mabry for us.
Yes.
And Paul Tarver for the pancakes.
Hey,
yeah.
Ooh,
We'll
man.
get you some.
All righty. Well, that's it for today.
That's it.
Appreciate y'all.
Why don't we just all say goodbye? One, we'll do.
Bye.
Side.